Hey, it's new build day. Did you like that, Modders?
Yeah.
Tuesday build.
Woo!
Yay. Of course, you all don't know what it is yet.
No.
I think Julian was kind of on the right track in Discord.
Only
But-
one person got it right.
Did they? Who was it?
Kieran
Ooh, now that doesn't
in the
surprise me.
Discord.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Kieran got it right.
shall we reveal what we're going to be building?
Yeah.
Are you ready? 2,
Yeah.
3, go.
So straight up.
There we go. We're building motorbikes this time.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah. So, what were the connections with the herrings and the hints? So, obviously, the first one was a Lysander of Sparta, which was obviously a herring.
Yeah.
The second one was Kenny Logan's Danger Zone, which was the soundtrack that was playing, or music that was playing when Tom Cruise rides along the side of the runway in Top Gun when he arrives at Miramar. And he does that whole riding the motorbike and fist pumping the air and stuff.
Yeah.
I seem to have jumped from 2 to 4. Oh, no, 3. Everything Louder Than Everything Else. The album art is a bat with a motorbike. Number 4, Five Finger Death Punch, Blue on Black. The opening scene of the music video is the cars and motorbikes parking up. Number 5, Curtis Stigers, This Life, is the theme song to Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Elmer Bernstein, More Action, is the sound, the music that's playing when Steve McQueen tries to jump over the fence in The Great Escape on a motorbike.
Nice.
There you go. So they were, except number 1, they were all motorbike related.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm sure it was only Kieran that guessed correctly.
Yeah. I think it probably was.
Mm.
I know Julian was on the right track because he was saying that Meatloaf rode a motorbike.
Mm.
And he got all excited, and then he sort of talked himself out of it, thinking he was being... which is quite funny.
Yeah. That's him.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Sparta is a type of motorbike as well. I didn't know that. So, yeah, none of them were herrings.
Yeah. Nope.
Excellent. So, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm rather excited for this build.
Me
really excited. I really enjoyed the last bike I built.
I've not built a motorbike before. So I've painted a real motorbike before. I resprayed my old motorbike.
Doesn't count because you didn't build it from scratch.
I have to strip it down and respray it, and then rebuild it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Did it in my dad's backyard.
Did a 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah. So, before we get started, I shall go through the chat. Or if you want to get started whilst I go through chat, it's up to you. There you go. Julian says, morning all. Morning, Julian. Ian says, tally-ho, pip-pip, and Bernard, your uncle. Very good. And he says, in English, we say good morning. Good morning, Ian. Julian, Bernard, I thought it was Bob, although technically he was my granddad. Fact if I know who Fanny was. And Julian says, good morning, Ian. Modder says, good morning, all. Hope you're ready for a brand new buddy build. Last chance to get your guests in, and we'll let you know if you get it right. Oh, yeah, don't forget to lube and subscribe.
Yeah.
Very good, Modders.
I got the sticker.
Yay. David says, morning, all. Good morning, David.
Morning.
Good morning, Tiff. And good morning, David. Ian says, Hugh Laurie was the first comment and Rowan Atkinson was the second from an episode of BA Goes Forth. Or Blackadder Goes Forth, yeah. Jim says, Ian, you sound like the old stereotypical Hollywood version of an English butler. I say, oh chap, jolly good morning it is. Tiff says slight delay, just sorting the intro out. Yes. He was being slow, saving it. Jim says today we get the grand surprise. Yes. Hope you'll like the idea, the fact we're doing bikes for a change.
Yeah.
Joe says good morning, afternoon, evening all. Hello, Joe. Julian, good morning, Jim. Jim, good morning, Julian. Julian, good morning, Joe. David, morning, Tiff and Julian.
Morning.
Aaronville says hello. Hello, Aaronville. Jim says Joe. Good morning, Joe. Julian, hi, Aaron. Dieter, greetings. Julian, afternoon, Hagrid. Jim, minor technical difficulties. Please stand by. Yeah. Hobby Time says hi, guys. Hi, Hobby Time. He says hi to Jim and Julian. Jim, the intro is always worth the wait. Oh, thank you. I literally did it just before we came live. I'd like 45 minutes to do it. Greetings, Hobby Time. Hi, Hobby Time. Sonic says hi, guys. Hi, Sonic. Hello, Sonic. Ian says, well done, Kieran, for guessing correctly. And Ian says, my internet's playing up now. Julian, Kieran and said Sparta was a maker bike too. Nice. Sonic said, I already knew that what the build was going to be, so I didn't say anything. Kind of wish I didn't now, because it would have been fun guessing. Joe says, motorbikes, I'm out. I have one. I stopped halfway through. Can't fix my mind to finish. It's all right. You just didn't do. You can build whatever you want, mate. Whilst you watch it, if you want. You don't have to build the same kits. It's just we build the same kits. Ish. Kieran says, sorry it's a bit late. Oh, I got pretty close. You did.
You got spot on.
Duke says, good day, all you beautiful people. Off to work now. We'll try and catch up. Okay, Duke. Have fun, buddy.
No problem.
There we go.
I actually went through quite a while ago when I first got the kit.
Yeah.
And I wrote down all the paints that I needed, and I bought them.
Ooh.
And they've been sat for ages, waiting. So I just need to grab them now. Because I have a big paint called Tamiya paints.
Julie says the intro is the best bit, not the rest of the stream, isn't? I mean, looks at hand. Where the hell did this shovel come from? And it says, born to be wild. Let's get the camera off my.
I'm going to have that stuck in my head now.
As long as you don't sing it, it's fine.
Oh, I won't. I'm not drunk.
All right. Okay. All right. So. Okay. So we've got to put the wheels and the discs together first. And this one, which is D17 and D14. Although it's kind of obvious because,
Yeah.
they're wheels.
Yeah. It's weird that you've got to put the wheels and the discs together.
Eh?
So it's weird that you've got to put the wheels and the discs together first.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really make sense because you should really be spraying it. What I might do is put the engine together first.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're able to airbrush and stuff like that, but I can't do that because obviously I don't have an airbrush. So I've already pre-primed my sprues. Not the silver one, because they're obviously supposed to be silver details, but well, chrome. But my main two, I have already pre-primed.
Arville says, will you be airbrushing? I will.
I won't. It's all brush painting for me.
Ooh. I finished Pepe, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he's got his little goblin friend on his shoulder now.
Oh, that is awesome.
Cool, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's going to sit on my desk now.
Just take off.
Ooh.
Right.
Sonic says, if you start singing, then you're on your bike. Haha. Brilliant. Unlike the introvert's motto, Hagrid, born to be mild. Dieter says, Julian, don't you mean live to be mild? Julian's laughing at Hagrid. Right, so yeah, I'll start on the engine first because it wants me to build the wheels so I can put the struts on and things, and the drivetrain.
Yeah. So mine starts off with the battery case and the frame.
See, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when I did the was that the Ducati, I started off with the battery case and that as well.
Yeah.
It's just a bit strange. I was asking you to start with the discs and the wheels.
Yeah. Not to worry.
No.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Snips. There they are. And you. There we go. Right. Want the block. Rocker block first. So E2. That one.
Yeah,
Sonic says that Ducati is a nice bike.
It is on a shelf in his bedroom.
Nice.
Next to he's got like two cube like shelf things. I think he's got the Ducati that I built on one of them, and then he's got I think it's die-cast version of the Fireblade, Honda Fireblade.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Sonic. I'm not 100% sure.
David says, I have built the Tamir 112 Kawasaki Ninja H2 Carbon. Been there since I started it during my cancer treatment in March 2020. I need to finish it. Well, what better time?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm glad to see you're still here. Sonic says he's pretty sure you're right, Tiff.
Yeah. He's been looking at, you can get like the model kits of the Fireblade as well, but I don't think they have the one that he actually wants. It's a different, I think it's like the one under that. The one he wants, yeah. I think it's is it 1,000? He'll tell you.
Yeah. Slipping with a knife is not a good idea.
No, probably not. I was looking on Facebook last night, and I saw a very upsetting post. One of my friends had gone
where?
Missing.
Oh, okay.
He was found this morning, I think, at 7:30.
Yeah.
Bless him. He's had a tough couple of weeks.
I'm hoping it doesn't matter which way this block goes around. I imagine it does.
Yeah, probably.
Front side is that one. So back is that. Okay, so we want E6 now.
I'm thinking, and yes, I know it's dangerous, because this bike seems like a lot less complicated than yours. I might try a vignette.
Vignette?
Yeah.
Ooh, go for it.
Because when we had your, I can't remember his name, your friend on that's doing the bike thing.
Martin.
Yeah. And he mentioned having like the bikes in like a poppy field or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Nice.
Just like having it on a road between two poppy fields.
That sounds nice. We could have it parked in a load of poppies with some grass and things.
Ooh, I could do. I'll have to jot down some ideas.
Yeah, go for it. David says, thank you. Yes, all clear. Good. Glad to hear it, buddy.
Yeah.
Ian says, this is different. I have a lot of bike kits. There we go. What better time to get them done? Dieter says, only bike I made was a Playmobil firefighter bike. Sonic says, brilliant news, David. Junior says, I do wonder instructions sometimes. The order does seem odd to me. I'm only a newbie modeler. I think as long as parts aren't dependents, you can build modules. Whatever body makes sense. Yeah. That's why you read the instructions through first.
Yeah.
Joe says, okay, motivation. I'll have another go again after I paint my 3 172nd planes. It's an Ayoshima 1980 XJ400 Yamaha.
Oh.
I had my motorbike was the XJ600S Diversion from Yamaha, and I've been looking for a model of it. I can't find one.
See, as much as I'd love,
I'm going to look back at it now, actually, whilst I'm looking.
Yeah. As much as I'd love to, I think I'm just too scared to ride a motorbike.
I probably couldn't do it now because I haven't got physical strength isn't up to it.
Yeah.
Mobility. XJ400. It's pretty close. It's the predecessor to the XJ600. And it hasn't got the fairings on it. So it's like the XJ600 rather than the XJ600F, which was the sports one, which is the one I had with the fairings on it.
Yeah.
Sonic said, last bike I built was a wee Lego cop bike. David says, thank you, Sonic. Joe, getting the exhaust through the frame is a pain. Yeah, I imagine it is. To be honest, it's a bit of a pain on the real bike. Arnville says, vignette, road and poppy field, great idea. There we go. DP says, hi, Mikey. Hello, DP. And she says, hi, Tiff.
Hi.
Sonic says, vignette, whatever that is, more like a, is it done yet, Tiff? Jim says, good morning, DP. How are things with you? DP says, hi, Sonic and Julian. Arnville says, is it best to paint airbrush on the frame or when parts are made off the frame? It depends, really. If the sprue attachment part points are where it's going to be hidden anyway, then yeah, you can do. You can spray it on the frame, it's not a problem. If it's an assembly that's going to be hidden, then we'll see whether you paint it or not.
Yeah.
You've also got to think of where you're going to glue, where your glue points are as well. I tend not to spray on the frame. Sometimes I'll prime whilst it's on the frame, but I don't tend to spray on the frame. That's just personal preference. Sonic says, "Hey DP." DP says, "Hi Jim, I'm okay. Just listening to some music, trying to calm my nerves. How are you?" Oh, well, hopefully we can help with that. Jim says, "Hi baby cakes," and Jim says, "DP with baby cakes doing very well, thanks. Looks like a very nice day. Dental appointment is this afternoon." Ooh, what you haven't done, Jim? Ooh, that's a nice fit. Bugger. Oh, this shut the right way, and now I've got to figure it out again. There we go.
C5. That's a chrome one.
DP says, "Oh, how fun, Jim. Make sure you get a sticker after. And a lollipop."
Yeah.
Jim says, "Speaking of stickers, Modern's got loads of new stickers." June says, "With regards to spraying on the frame, I found out the hard way why tabs won't fit in slots if there is the tiniest paint layer involved." Yeah. Jim says, "DP with baby cakes, wishing you a calm and peaceful day." Sonic says, "Would be good if all the parts were already painted, so it's a case of building it. I hate painting stuff as I'm hopeless at it. It's all practice, buddy."
Yeah, it just takes practice.
Yeah, prime and thin your paints properly. You'll get the hang of it. June says, "Be back later, folks. Lunchtime." Okay, buddy. DP says, "Thank you, Jim." And Sonic says, "What time, Jim? 2:30? Ha ha ha." Sometimes the old ones are the best, eh, Sonic?
Well, he would know about that.
What, the old jokes?
No, just old.
Bless him. Right, so that's the front. So that should go. Yeah, that's the right way around. Cool.
I'm waiting to hear an oi from the other room.
At the minute, Kaylee's painting our bathroom. Oh, no, she's coming downstairs now.
There you go, I just said the oi. To be honest, I'm surprised he hasn't got up and tried to steal one of the banana muffins I made this morning.
Yeah.
Because I was up at 10 o'clock this morning baking.
She's given up, apparently.
All right. So does that mean you've got to go and finish it later?
Yeah. Jim says, "Mikey, dental work will involve yet another cavity. Not fair, mind you. I make the effort to take care of my teeth." Yeah. We all do, but it happens to us all. Jim says, "Sonic, hi-oh." And Sonic says, "Tiff knows the old ones are the best, Mikey." Ha ha ha. That's not a euphemism at all, is it, Sonic?
Bless him. He can't help it, he's an old man.
I'm saying nothing. He's not old, he's decrepit. Oh, still got 16 people watching, which is awesome.
Yeah. Quite a quiet, chilled stream. It's probably my fault because I'm always quite quiet when it comes to streaming. And most of the time, especially Mondays, it's more because like when you guys talk about obviously like use time serving and stuff like that, I don't have any input because I didn't serve.
Yeah.
Or you just talk about things I have absolutely no idea about.
Well, this is why I suggest you write down some topics and stuff that you want to talk about. Because you know me, I can talk about anything. Sonic says, "Oi, that's Mr. Old Fart to you."
Did he call you an He called you decrepit.
Yeah. George says, "Hey all." Hello, George.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. Right, so that's the front. So we need E3 now. Which you'd think would be really easy to spot. Oh. Ooh. There we go. George says, try the gunplay. They come in pre-coloured plastic. Oh, the Gundam ones.
Yeah.
See, that just takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? Oh, my hands aren't working today, apparently. There we go. Ooh. Good. Someone's got a dog in the park.
Yeah. Someone's probably gone into the shop. Left the dog outside. I'll mute that until it goes.
Okay. George says, makes cleanup a lot more difficult, though. Yeah, I suppose it would. Joe says, yes, Tiff, talk about baking. I love baking myself. Waiting on our blackberries to ripen up in our yard. Then it's time for a cobbler or two. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, it sounds nice. Yeah, I made banana and chocolate chip muffins.
I used to like making apple pie when I lived at my dad's. Well, my dad's house at the time. Because he had an apple tree, a cooking apple tree in the garden. So if I had a day off work, I'd in the afternoon I'd go out into the garden, pick a couple of apples off the tree, and make a nice big apple crumble for his pudding after tea for when he got in from work.
Oh, sounds nice.
With cinnamon in and everything.
Oh. It's something I didn't really use. I don't actually think I've got any cinnamon left. I normally put some in. Just like just a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Brings all the flavour of banana quite nicely.
Sonic says, ooh, you said banana, but mention the chocolate part, Tiff. Need to have one now. Oh.
I did tell you. Yeah, I did tell you yesterday that I was making banana and chocolate chip muffins.
I got some of the free from chocolate muffins from Tesco's yesterday. They're actually not that bad. They're not too bad.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be as little sugar as there was in that recipe.
Yeah.
So they're not actually that sugary, obviously, apart from the chocolate.
Yeah.
But they are so nice because I did have one this morning for my breakfast after I made them.
Oh, I found out Friday? Well, no? Monday? I've managed to, in 12 months, I've managed to put my diabetes into remission.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a blood test tomorrow for mine.
Got diagnosed 12 months ago, and I've already managed to get it under control with meds and stuff. And diet.
That's good.
So they've lowered my meds, and they're going to check it again in 3 months to see how it is.
No,
See if
I'm
new
not
dosage
on
work.
They wanted mine diet controlled first.
Yeah, because you were pretty much pre-diabetes, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, it went from, I was pre-diabetic. I think it was 42, which is just over.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then I went down to, I think it was 39.
Yeah. So
And then
pre-diabetic, non-diabetic to pre-diabetic is change to pre-diabetic at 40, and then over that's diabetic. So when I started, mine was at 62.
Yeah.
And now it's down. I've got it down to 39 in 12 months. So just on the very bottom edge of pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
It's not something you ever get rid of. It's just under control.
Yeah. Well, mine, it's not really due to my diet. It's more, like I've got a medical condition which causes diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it causes problems with the way your body sort of like absorbs and like thingies insulin.
Yeah.
So
I think mine's kind of hereditary.
yeah.
Not sure.
My mum just been told she's type 2. I don't know if my dad was.
Yeah. My mum and all my grandparents were type 2. And I'm type 2. Aaronville says, lunch crackers, mature cheese with homegrown red onions. Ooh. Joe says, that's great, Mikey. Thank you, buddy. David says, they sound delicious, Tiff. Don't get to make any with banana, as wife is allergic to bananas. Oh, it's a shame. I love bananas.
Me too.
I have Weetabix minis and chopped banana for breakfast every day. DP says, great job. Thank you, DP. David says, that's good, Mikey. Same here. I'm at 38 at the Mo was 58. Yeah. Joe says, Joe says, I was type 2 diabetic, but lost 50 pounds or 3.5 stone. Yeah. See, since I got diagnosed last year, I've lost 2 stone, just over 2 stone. Because I was just over 22 stone, and now I'm dead on 20 stone. So it's heading in the right direction.
I've lost about a stone.
Yeah. A lot of it's just cutting out things like pop and things, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's like I enjoy the occasional like energy drink.
See, I don't like that anymore. They're far too sweet for me in taste.
Yeah. But I prefer my flavoured water. I
do. I always try to get the one that's sucralose based as well, not aspartame based. Because I found that since I've stopped having aspartame, I've stopped having, well, not stopped having, but the pain isn't quite so much.
Yeah. Well, I'm also careful what I eat because obviously I don't have my gallbladder anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes your guts dodgy sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like things like wholemeal bread and stuff like that. I kind of eat.
Yeah.
Because it just messes with my guts.
Yeah. See, I quite like wholemeal bread and pasta. Jim says, "Good for you, Joe." Joe says, "I don't drink sodas, Coke, Pepsi, etc." And a bit of exercise. Yeah, I've stopped drinking stuff like that as well. Sonic says, "I practically live on energy drinks for driving." Yeah, you shouldn't, because if you're driving and you come down off them, then you're going to get tired very quickly, and that's when accidents happen. If you don't feel up to driving, don't drive. Don't just cram yourself with energy drinks, dude. It's a really bad idea. Speaking with 19 years of driving experience. Oh, probably longer, actually. 19 years since I passed my test. Nearly 20 years.
I think Sonic's been passed for just over 2 years, coming into his third year.
Yeah. E7.
It's starting to annoy me now. The shop downstairs isn't that busy. I went in this morning and just practically bloody empty. I think there was only me and 2 other people in there.
Yeah. Right, E8.
Poor thing is that she's like outside in the sun.
Yeah. See, I've never understood why people do that, because if somebody goes to touch the dog that it doesn't like and it bites them, you're knackered. You didn't have the dog under control because you weren't there to control it. Sonic says, "I did my driving lesson whilst tired, even past tired. Past first time as well."
He did.
Having seen the driving in Scotland, that doesn't surprise me.
He's actually a really good driver. Better than my mum's ex-boyfriend, who has been driving for about 40 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's much better than him.
Ian says, my neighbour's dog is barking. I wish they'd let it back in the house. See, my neighbours are the opposite. They never let the dog out the house. They don't even take it for walks.
That's just not fair.
It's like a little yappy terrier thing.
Yeah, it's a little white terrier outside.
Yeah. It means that every time someone goes to their front door or anything, it starts yapping like bloody hell. But I've never seen them take it for a walk. The most they do is let it out in the back garden, little back garden, to go to the toilet, and then that's it. And that's got like 6-7 foot fence around it, or 6 foot fence around it. So the dog's never seen anything other than the garden and the house, inside the house, which is not good for their mental health.
No.
Do you know what? There's hardly any cleanup on this.
Yeah. I've noticed that with the bike kits. Even this one doesn't have much just like the
E60.
sprue points that need cleaning up.
They're very nicely molded, aren't they? Oh, there we go.
Which one's that again? The Zephyr.
Yeah. Kawasaki Zephyr.
Who's that one?
Aoshima.
Aoshima. Tamiya ones are quite nice.
I've not done a Tamiya. Well, this is the first one I've done, so obviously I've not done a Tamiya one.
But yeah, the Ducati one I did was really nice. It was more like not much glue into it. It was more screw and stuff on.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought that, and yes, I'm not thinking it's dangerous. It's something I can get. You know, I got that voucher. On Amazon. I can get some dropper bottles for me, Tamiya paints.
Yeah, there you go.
Because half of these, I cannot open the bloody jars properly.
Yeah. It says, that's true here too. Never seen it walked. Yeah, it's not good for dogs to be cooped up in the house all the time, even if they're only little dogs. Causes a lot of problems. It causes them things like anxiety and things like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, as much as I'd love a dog, right now my mobility wouldn't be. But it's not great.
Yeah.
With like a lot of days, not really. Like I'm struggling to get out of bed. So it just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
And I don't have a garden to access because I live in a first floor flat.
Yeah. Sonic says, "Ooh, Mikey, we need a 'Don't Think It's Dangerous' sticker." Yeah. It says, "Same here, David, but I'm mostly on my bicycle, so I try to say hello to a dog and let it sniff the bike to calm it." We used to have a guy around here, and he had quite a big dog. It was like I think it was like greyhound or something, or whippet. And what he used to do is just put a long lead onto the handlebars of his bike and just let him pull it around the estate.
Oh yeah, greyhound. Greyhounds and whippets, I bloody love that.
Yeah. He used to spend ages going around the estate and things like that, pulling him around. It was funny. There's someone else, an old fella that used to take his dog around there, lived around there, and he tied the lead to the front of his mobility scooter, and he would just ride along on his mobility scooter and have his grandkid in a trailer on the back. David says, "Just putting the decals on the F15C now, so nearly finished." Nice.
Cool.
And he says, "We have a bulldog and he hates to go for a walk." Ah. What sort of bulldog is he?
English, French, American.
So I know English bulldogs, they've got really fragile hips and things, haven't they?
Yeah.
They dislocate them really easy. Ooh. Look who's in. Hang on, I shall finish clearing this. John's in! Yay! Hello, John. Hello, Mr. Marley.
I did say we'd jump in and say hello.
Yeah. TBG says, "Hi, everyone." Hi, TBG.
Good afternoon.
DP says, hi, TBG. David says, English. If I go near the lead, he hides. Yeah. They don't like going for walks too much. I used to know someone who had one, and they'd walk, but if you tried to get them to like climb on anything or go down a curb, you have to lift them off and things. TBG has been a member for 4 months and says, help, let me out. TBG says, hi, DP. Ian says, hello, twins. Hello, James. Hello, the twins. Jim says, hey, TBG and John Marley. There you go. I'm quite liking how this is going together. E14. That one.
How much of yours do you have to screw together?
None that I can see. It's all plastic.
I've got a couple of screws in mine.
Oh, I might have actually, because I know there's got springs and stuff to put on the struts and stuff.
Because like the decay, most of like the outside, like the what do you call it? I can't remember. Even like the handlebars, I had to screw into place.
There you go. Actually, in the middle of the screen for a change. Yeah.
So like it was made so that if you wanted to, you could unscrew one side of it and look at like the engine and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah.
It's a good way of doing it.
Ooh.
But I know some of them they'll never unscrew it.
Yeah. They'd be worried about breaking it.
Yeah.
Where do we get to? TVG says normal for an English bulldog. Yeah. Tiff Sonic says, let poor TBG out your dungeon, Tiff.
Never.
It says that was quick, David. Haven't you bought the F-15 recently? And Jim says, Marley, got your email. John sent a reply a few minutes ago. There we go. TVG says, hi, Ian, and hi, Jim. And David says, Tiff, yes, Tamir bikes tend to have the frame screwed together.
Yeah.
Nice. I have to try one of them at some point.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah. Fun, they've got plenty of kits to do at the minute.
I know.
Ian says, who knows how long Tamir have been supplying a tiny screwdriver in their kits? I don't know, probably since they were a wooden model company back in the 40s. TVG says, hi, backwards, John.
Yeah, I still have that tiny screwdriver somewhere. I think I might have put it in my toolbox.
We'll have to call him Yellram. The backwards Marley.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, brain. Dropping things an awful lot lately. Not sure why.
I think that is supposed to be there.
There you Oh, right.
Where is it? Yes, it is. Let's go. I thought it was like an extra bit of sprue, that bit there, but it's not. It's actually supposed to be there. I didn't want to accidentally cut it off.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Sonic says, wouldn't mind trying to build a bike, trying a bike build. I like the sound of the ones that screw together. Yeah. TVG says, or worse, the upside down and backwards, Marley. Sonic says, Yell Ram the Elder and Mikey the Wizard. Yes. Or Yekim the Wizard, but that sounds... David says, yes, Ian, been working on it most evenings. I'm trying to get the Hoyle to go back to the Bronco Buffalo. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I know what the Buffalo is. Right, E1. This is going together really nice. I definitely wouldn't have any objections to doing more of these.
Huh? I'm going to have a look on Wonderland Models, I think. See what they've got in. So they tend to have a decent amount of stock of bikes and cars and stuff.
Yeah. I know the shop where I got this from, Battle Games, the one I go to in Saltney. I know they've got a couple. Sonic says, that reminds me, we need to play that silly game again. That was fun. And no, I don't mean a football one. Do you mean Goblin Quest? James has offered to, who did the Goblin Quest session for us, said he's happy to do a game of Candela Obscura on the Discord.
Yeah, I remember seeing the post you'd put up.
Yeah, it's a good game, that one. He said he's happy to do a one-shot game for people to have a go at. Sonic's put Goblin Quest, yay. I can actually run a session of Goblin Quest because I've got the book, and I've played it enough.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe Sonic would join in this time. So
maybe.
Just watching. Da, da, da. Oh. Yeah. I'm always up for a game of Goblin Quest. It's funny.
I know Malcolm put in yesterday that he's up for a game of the Candela Obscura.
Yeah. Oh, is that in the gaming bit?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Yeah. You'd enjoy it, too. It's like a horror-based steampunk game.
Maybe. I mean, like, tabletop games like that have never really been my kind of thing.
Oh, wait, there we go. Right. Get in, you sod.
That's what she said.
See, you can say that, and nobody can say a thing.
He just heard Sonic cheering from the bedroom.
He's finally found his dangly bits. Woohoo!
What was that? He said something, but I couldn't hear him.
Sonic says, that reminds me, we need to play that silly game again. Goblin Quest, yay. Maybe invent a new game based on that and make it that bit more. Well, funnily enough, the Goblin Quest book actually comes with 3 different games that are based around the same system in it. So you've got things like Goblin Quest, but you've also got Sean Bean Quest, which is where you have 5 Sean Beans and you have to get at least one of them to survive to the end of the film without being killed. Junior says, back. This bit's been a bit of a pain. Right, I might have to leave that set for a minute. Which is fine, because it gives me a chance to have a drink, because I'm thirsty. Peach tea, lovely.
Ooh, peach tea.
God, it's sweet. Yeah. Apparently, I said he's finally found his dangly bits, and Sonic shouted they're in the cupboard. I thought they were in Modder's handbag.
I don't own a handbag.
No. Oh, shit. Okay.
Just keep them in the cupboard.
Oops. There you go. Right. Line them up. That should set. Julian says, now that's an unfortunate point to come back. Tiff mentions the bedroom and Mikey mentions dangly bits. Should I go away again? Oh dear.
No, it's safe, Julian, don't worry.
Sonic says, so that's where my handbag... Oh, never mind. Dear. Sonic. What? I can hear him giggling in the background. It's like a bloody schoolgirl.
I'm surprised you heard that, because he is actually sat in the bedroom. He does that so because obviously I'm in the middle of sorting my studio out.
Yeah.
It's full of just stuff that needs to be recycled and boxes, and I've got a divan bed frame in there that I need to turn into a shelving unit.
Yeah.
So there is a sofa in there, but you can't get to it.
Yeah.
So he's just sat in the bedroom.
Yeah. E10.
I love these spare cutters.
And that goes So I need C8. Dieter says, Julian, well, someone has to get the screwdriver for those bits. And Julian says, screwdriver Mikey's safe word, Hagrid. No. This is delving new depths.
Mikey's safe word would be between him and Kaylee only.
Sonic says, sounds like a different game of Goblin Quest entirely, Julian. Adita says, Mikey, you are not helping by going deeper now. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
From the bedroom, all I heard was, that's what she said. So I've got that.
Sonic says, new safe word is hobnobs. Joe says, I believe the bearded veterans have a day off tomorrow. Good. Having a minor procedure tomorrow, so I will be out for the day, but we'll be here for Thursday. Old man stuff.
Oh, bear with me 2 seconds. Someone's at the front door.
Okay. Hope it's nothing too serious. Julian says, Hagrid, I think Mikey's confused helping with hindering. It's not my fault you couldn't figure out what it was. So they go that way around. I look at it. E12.
Hassle.
Ah.
I had a bunch of leggings because I needed more.
I see. Not a problem I share. Fortunately. Sonic says, quick, do something naughty. Mothers is away. Dieter says, I thought we were. And Julian, no, Sonic, she'll only scroll and I'm allergic to injury. Mine anyway. Modders would never injure you. Just mildly beat you. Right. So E9.
I wouldn't do that either.
Sonic says, funny, I'm not allergic to other people's injuries. So, what are you building in your own time, Modders?
I'm still in the middle of building that book nook.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm just taking my time with this one because I got the other two finished.
Yeah.
And then Willow decided that she wanted to climb on top of the cupboard and knock one of them off.
Yeah.
So I've also got to fix that one. Haven't I? Bugger. But other than that, nothing really. I've got a jigsaw I need to do.
Yeah.
Of St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah.
Which is going to go. I've got the picture frame for it. It's going to get hung up on the wall in the living room.
Nice.
Oh, I'm rather looking forward to getting that built.
Speaking of that, I was watching The Two Popes last night on Netflix. It's a good film.
Never heard of it.
It's about the when the last Pope was announced. I can't remember that. I think it's Pope Benedict. He hadn't passed away. He just sort of renounced.
Yeah.
His papacy, and then the other one took over. So there's actually technically two popes at the same time. That's what the film's about, how that came about, and it's about them getting to know each other and stuff. It's really good. The one who plays the one that's just passed away, he's Pope Francis, I think it is.
Yeah.
He's played by Jonathan Price, whatever. But he was born and raised in our town.
Wow.
Because he grew up 2 streets away from Kay, from where Kay's mum and dad live, the other end of town. And sometimes he still comes back to visit his family and stuff. Sonic says, "Why don't you build me a buttercup? No singing." For some reason, the first time I read it, I thought it said, "Why don't you blind me, buttercup?" I thought Sonic's getting a bit kinky, isn't he? Dieter, yep, Ratzinger, aka Benedict XVI, abdicated due to declining health. Francis I became the new pope. Yeah. I'm not Catholic, so I don't really keep up with the names and stuff.
Me either.
There you go. Let's turn 2 on. No, Jonathan Priest. It's not because he does. It's not his surname isn't spelled Papa Romeo India Charlie Echo. It's spelled Papa Romeo Yankee Sierra Echo. There you go, Jonathan Price, Sonic, who also played Prince Philip in the final season of Count. Yep, and he played the governor in the Caribbean. Governor Swan. Eh?
That guy. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Good actor, to be fair.
Yeah.
And he does really well in it because even though he's only memorizing scripts and things, in the Two Popes because Pope Francis was Argentinian. He has to, during the film, he has to speak English, Spanish, or whatever language Argentines speak, and Latin. He has to have conversations in all three.
Wow. And some actors do learn other languages, or just for parts.
Well, this is the thing. Even if they're not, even if they don't know what they're saying, they've still got to learn the words, and the words aren't familiar to them, like they would be with English words.
Yeah.
It's like if they gave Tom Cruise a script in Welsh or something, he'd have to. He might not know what the words say, but he'd have to learn how to pronounce them properly, and that in itself's a hard job.
That would be funny.
Mm. Julian says, if I recall correctly, Benedict was the only pope ever to abdicate. The rest all popped their clogs in office. There was one other in this, I think it's 16 or 1700s or something. Dieter says, Jonathan Pryce also played Governor Swan in Pirates of the Caribbean, Elliot Carver in Tomorrow Never Dies, the High Sparrow in Game of Thrones, and so on. Yeah.
Ah, yes. The High Sparrow. Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about now. I got confused at first. Because, yeah, I don't really know actors' names. I just know what they look like.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly the smartest person when it comes to remembering stuff.
Oh, bless you.
I'm the best person. I don't know much about much.
Yeah, if you look up where he's from, it says Holywell, which is our town up the road. He's actually from a specific part of Holywell called Carmel, which is like a nice housing estate on the top road. Oops, wrong way around. Which is where my in-laws live. Sonic says, "I bet they swear in Latin. Very sneaky." I mean, I've got dog Latin swearing on my arm. That's just because it was something my granddad taught me before I went out to Iraq. Illegitimate non carborundum. Jim says, "Listen, Sonny, when you're Pope, you don't have time to remember what bloody number you are." And Sonic says, "Pretty sure that was a Billy Connolly joke." Probably. C16 and 15. So 16 goes to the left. Dieter says, actually, there were 6 to abdicate or resign over the 266 pontiffs in history. The first was over 1,800 years ago. There we go. Pantheon, 235. Silverius, 537. John the 17th, 1009. Benedict the 9th, 1045. Celestine the 5th, 1294, and Gregory the 12th, 1415, with Benedict the 16th, the last in 2013. Yeah. I have no idea who any of them.
Yeah, no, me either.
There you go. Jimmy says, in Cruz's case, I would bet. I wouldn't bet on any of his pronunciation. I wouldn't either. Jimmy says he was in Far and Away, and a friend was watching it with her Irish nan, who asked, "Where's character from?" Ireland nan. Nan listens and asks, "What freaking part of Ireland is he supposed to be from?" Yeah. Sonic says, "Bless you, Tiff. See what I did there." Jim says, "Julian, good point, Julian, or his acting skills for that matter." Dieter says, "I'll leave it open who willingly resigned or who unwillingly abdicated as pontiff." Yeah. That's not Catholic, so it's not really an issue for me.
Never been a religious person.
See, I think I'm pretty. I don't know if it's religious or spiritual, but I am. It's just organized religions I don't like. So I still believe that there is a higher power and stuff like that, but I don't believe in going to churches and things.
Yeah.
Because churches are man-made and men are faulty. I think it should be a very personal relationship with one's creator. Dieter says, "I'm a religious person, but scientific-minded all the same." Yeah. Sonic says, "Must be the first PC joke that I've ever did about that religion." Jim says, "Why quit a cush job like that when everyone's kissing your hand?" That's one of the reasons why. It's not something I'd want people to bloody do.
Yeah, no. Me either.
All those manky people. Ooh.
Don't know where the mouths have been.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Oh. Julian says, "In my opinion, Cruz plays one character, a wisecracking American. He has no other gear." Mr. Marley, the other Marley, says, "Hello all in chat and on screen, and also with you." There we go. Hello, Paul. Dieter says, "Faith is personal indeed, first and foremost, and not bound by earthly matters in the end. You believe in what gives you comfort and strength, not because of a book or scrolls telling you." Exactly. Sonic says, "When you could have a more cushy job, Jim, where everyone is kissing your ass." Well, that's one of the things with the papacy, is that within the walls of the Vatican, they are an absolute monarch. So they have complete control. They're actually classed as an absolute monarch.
Yeah. Just seen a message. Go on.
So I was watching a documentary about the Swiss Guard and that the other day, and they're saying that within the Vatican, whatever the Pope says or orders, they have to do it because he's the absolute monarch, and because they're his soldiers, they have to follow his orders.
Yeah, because the Vatican's like a little country of its own, pretty much, isn't it?
It is. Legally, it is. It's a country within a country. A country within a city within a country. Paul's laughing. And Dieter says, in the name of the Revel, the Airfix, and the Holy Hasagawa, amen. I like that. June says, I would not want to be a cardinal as part of your job involves kissing the boss's ring. Sonic says, kissy, kissy. Dieter says, Julian, in a Belgian film, the Archbishop of Belgium hated that, and at one moment he gives the ring to a subordinate. Here, you can have it so you can kiss it all you like for a week. Julius says, since the Lateran Treaty, the Vatican has been a city-state. Yeah.
Seen a comment there from Dieter on Discord asking when the competition starts.
Right, Dieter, I have explained to you several times now. When I announce it, that's when it starts.
Yeah, I've just looked as well. We are actually overdue with members only. The last one was the 31st of March.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that the other day. But in terms of the competition, I have explained to you several times now. I'm waiting for someone to get back to me. And then when I announce it, that's when it starts. Please don't make me repeat myself again. I know you're keen and excited to get started, but I can't help it if people are slow and busy. Dieter says, I will make you bloody repeat yourself as long as my mind needs to be kept from bloody wondering. Dieter says, and you know what is on my mind aside styrene and glue vapors? Porn? Joe says, Mikey sounds like the Pope of the bearded veterans. Pope Beardicus the first. Sonic says, we all know what kind of stuff that goes on amongst that bunch. I will leave it there because YouTube Tiff knows why. I guess she's sick of some of my certain rants. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do get a little bit.
Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, faith is a very personal thing.
Yes.
I don't think anyone should be forced into believing certain other believing things, and they shouldn't. Even if they believe and have faith, they shouldn't be forced into dealing with it in a certain way. Each to their own. Dieter says Pontiff Michaelis Walrusus the First and the Papal State of Cumri Vaticanus. Dieter says, where do we apply for member citizenship? Well, you are a member. So, yeah. I think most of the people in here are actually members now.
I think so.
I think it's only... Let's have a look. I know it's certainly mostly members that do the chatting. Yeah, I think the early ones are like David and Joe, maybe.
No, Joe's a member.
DP. There you go. That's the one. David and DP. She's probably fallen asleep now, though. Bless her. Julian says, I learned a bit about the Vatican doing my MA dissertation. The Pope was a pitter. Not caring. A pitter? What, he was a piece of bread?
It
Not
was
caring
just
what
about,
but haranguing the British ambassador about the area. Yeah. Yeah. We'll not go into that because that's a pretty dark period of history, especially for the Vatican. TVG says Pope Biggest, insert name here. D says Oshita bearded veteran Pope. Sonic says, I was raised Protestant, but don't believe in any gods, but still more than happy to process the morally wrong things. Yeah. Junior says pitta, as in pain in the ass. Yeah. There we go. Now we know. Right.
no, I want a pit of bread.
So, the question is, where the hell does this go?
I might have to go and buy some.
Oh, it goes in there. Okay. Stupid boy. Concentrate and read the instructions, Mikey boy.
Yeah. I went through mine this morning just to see more what I was doing.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Right.
I mean, the Tamiya ones, it actually tells you in the right order of what to do instead of like the ones you've got telling you to do the wheels and the brake discs first.
I can understand why. It's telling you to do it as a sub build.
Yeah, like a sub-assembly.
It makes sense in that context, but it doesn't make sense when you're doing a live stream because you can't just go off, spray a bit, then come back and build another bit and then spray another bit. TBG says Pope Lubus Subscribus. Sonic says, I pity the fool.
Oh, God.
Julie says, the question is, where does this go? That was what she said. Very good, Julie. Oh, apparently some of the fairings got on there. There you go. Well, I'm not going to put the fairings on just yet. Ooh, look at that. Starting to look like an engine.
Ooh. It should be drying on.
Step 5. Huh? Oh. Okay.
You sounded confused there, Mikey.
Yeah, a little bit. Suppose that'll work. Final pad gas lever cable.
There we go.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'll have the same problems as Gary with this kit. Because he said he's tried to build it and he had issues with it.
Yeah.
So far, the parts are going in quite a tight fit.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. Because a lot of the times it's quite loose.
You're really not helping, modders.
You lot need to have your bloody brains washed out.
June says, by the way, in response to the earlier question, I'm enjoying the bike build. Interesting change of pace to see a different genre. Yeah. Sonic says, a good friend of mine has a saying, suck it and see, basically meaning only one way to find out. We're not sure if something will work or not. Yeah. Jim says, I echo Julian's sentiment regarding the bike build. Used twos are doing. Used twos? Problem is, it's quite hard to see because it's black styrene. Looks like it's quite hard to see on camera. Okay. Okay, let's go. Oh, wow. We're an hour and a half in already.
Are we? Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Joe says, you beat me to it, Mikey. Ha 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 ha. Sonic says, Julian, where does this go? Suck it and see. Oh, God. Just because the kids have gone back to school. Come on. Yeah. Junior says, I volunteer not to, Sonic. Jim says, use twos was a south side of Chicago way of speaking. What are you guys doing? Yes.
Yeah, some people in the Northeast say that as well. Like up here.
Yeah. Right. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So I've got hose. I've actually got proper hose to put on as well.
Yeah, I do. So you just, it'll tell you what size you need to cut it to.
8 centimeters.
Yeah, I've got some in the packet with my, and I've got a couple of screws and springs in there as well.
Yeah. This is going to look really nice, hopefully.
Are you sticking to the colour that's on the instructions, or are you going to do it a different colour?
I don't know, you know. I don't know.
Because not much of mine is actually colour, it's mostly chrome.
Yeah. Blue.
The only colour bit is when I grab it in a second, once this is in place. So the only actual colour, a proper colour, is the fuel tank and that little bit there.
Yeah.
It says it's like a burgundy kind of colour, but
Yeah.
I might do it a different colour because it's got gold detail on it.
I've got that gunmetal blue.
Yeah, but
I don't know. What do people think?
I want to keep the red because
Yeah,
I'm thinking of doing it like a brighter red because it's got the gold detail on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether to find a metallic red or just make one.
Yeah. See, on mine, it is like a blue, and that's a pretty similar colour to what my motorbike was as well.
Yeah, but I've got that metallic blue. Where is it? There it is, that one. And it turns out really, really nice.
Yeah.
But I want something a little bit, because I did my Bugatti Chiron in that colour and it turned out beautiful.
Hang
on. Ow.
Sonic says, hey, you guys, from Sloth. Yeah, and Jim says exactly. Jimmy says, with regards to priming on or off the sprue, I think you can prime off the sprue if the parts are all going to be the same color, or masking would be easier off the sprue. Yeah. Joe says, that was a great choice, Tiff. Love that bike.
Thank you.
Julian says, Tiff, as is often said, it's your model. Do what color you like. Looks good to you. Jim says, what kit maker is your bike, Mikey? It is Aoshima. There you go. Aoshima.
That's how that metallic blue turns out. It's a really nice color.
Yeah.
I kind of want to keep the red.
I think what we'll have to do is paint the frame before put it together, because the frame goes either. The frame comes in two parts and it goes either side of the engine.
Yeah,
so
that's what I did.
Yeah,
because I've got my frame pretty much together now, and I had to build the battery case and put that in before I built the frame. Before I put the frame together.
Yeah.
The dial's gone together so nice.
Yeah. Vinyl hose. Does the vinyl glue with smear, or does it need super glue on it, do you reckon?
The
hose pipe.
It should be a tight enough fit that you don't need it.
Yeah.
It is with the cleaner ones. It's just a case of cutting it to size, and then there should be like some little points, kind of like you get here, that you just push it onto.
Okay. Oh god, there's two different types of hose. Which hose is it?
I mean, I just got two lengths of it.
No, two different diameters.
Oh.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh, goody, and it doesn't tell you which is which. Goody goody gumdrops. Thicker is vinyl pipe, thinner. Oh, well, that tells you nothing. It just says vinyl pipe thicker and thicker. Thicker and thinner. Well, that's just not descriptive. Not helpful at all. Jim says, what kit maker is your bike? Thanks, Mikey. No problems. Sonic says, they must have a Harley Davidson kit. Yeah, they probably will. Jim says, not Oshita. Jim says, not a Oshita then, Mike. If it was, it'd be a Oshita bike. Ow. Right. Vinyl pipe, gas leader cable. Yeah, got two completely different diameter pipes. I'm guessing it's not that one.
I'll see if I can have a look at the instructions and work it out.
Well, that one seems to be the better fit. So I think it might be that one. So 8 centimeters. Unless it tells me elsewhere. So gas lever cable. Yeah, it's got to be the thinner one because it's a cable. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's that.
They also don't call it vinyl pipe, it's vinyl.
Yeah.
It's vinyl.
Polyvinyl chloroacetate. Get back. There. So that's 8 mil, 8 centimeters. Hopefully.
Oh wow, you've actually got like the spark plugs and that on yours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it should be nicely detailed.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't think I should put the pipe on there actually, because I've got to spray the bloody engine. Yeah. There you go. So what I might do is actually put some tape around that and just label it.
Yeah.
Ian says, laugh my ass off, Aoshita model. Sonic says, that bike you're doing, Tiff, would look cool with a lot of looking rusted like a rat bike. Oshita rat.
No, it'll be. I'm going to try a vignette, I think. I might have to muddy it up a little bit. I think I've actually got some mud stuff. But other than that, it'll probably just be like a little bit. Obviously on the wheels and then a little bit on the underside of the engine.
Yeah. Where is my Sharpie pen? There you go. So,
right.
Step 6.
I'll leave that to dry a little bit. Because I'm going to scratch off some of that chrome on the back.
Excel. There you go. Okay. There you go. So that's the accelerator cable. Paul says, that's Virago bike, Tiff. I made that one when I was a teenager. There you go. He says, there's a rat in my kitchen. What am I going to do? Hey, rat fans. Carrying the gerbil. You won't remember that, will you, Tiff?
No.
No. There used to be a kids' TV show called Roland Rat Superstar. Roland Rat.
I've heard of Roland Rat.
Yeah. And he used to go traveling to different places and stuff with his friend Kevin the gerbil that he always sort of bullied a little bit. He saw him as like his sidekick. And he go, hey, Roland Rat Superstar! And Kevin the gerbil.
Okay.
And they drove round in a pink car. With loads of luggage on the top. Scale Modeling Twin says, sure did. Sonic says, when it's done, we can say, get your rat out. I'll get my coat. Sonic! Really? Too far, dude. Right. So I can't do the rest of 6 for now. So I've done 5.
It's the only thing I don't like about the chrome bits. You got to scratch it off to be able to glue it on.
Yeah.
It's easy to paint over. It's just gluing that's the problem.
Yeah. June says, weird. Google has a few hits for Harley Davidson model kits from Tamir and Italeri, but neither website has them. Discontinued, I think. Probably.
Yeah, it'll be an eBay find for it.
Yeah, or you get them from bricks and mortar shops and things. Sonic says, Mikey just had to lower the tone by mentioning a gerbil. Well, of course. Right. Oh, I need to put the Kawasaki thing on the engine. E. So Kawasaki. There it is. Oops, daisy.
And for this kit, I even went out and bought some brush-on varnish.
Ooh.
From Vallejo.
Vallejo.
Yeah, it's a lot thinner because obviously I've got the Tamiya one, the X22 clear.
Yeah.
But that is it's way too thick.
Yeah.
So I found the Vallejo one when I was in Boys.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd give that a try.
Why not? Why not indeed? Right. That goes on there like that. Cool. Ooh, damn. Got glue on it. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. E18.
I need to get myself some extra thin, I think.
Yeah. Or mate, have a go at making your own.
I'm not silly enough to have that much chemical and stuff in my house.
Yeah. %50 acetone and 50% butyl acetate.
To be fair, I don't think my housing association would be very happy about that either.
No. Basically turn your home into a chemistry lab.
Yeah. To be fair, they're not too happy that I've got spray paint in the house.
Are they not?
No.
What they said?
But as long as I use it properly,
yeah,
then it's fine. Because apparently the lass that comes and does my inspections,
yeah,
her brother builds scale models.
Yeah.
So I've kind of got away with it a little bit. As long as I don't spray it in the house, which I do anyway. Not that they know that. I've made like a little box booth thing out of cardboard that I just spray into it.
Yeah.
Keep I only spray indoors if it's bad weather outside.
Yeah.
I keep the window wide open. And Willow does not go into the studio.
Yeah.
It's the only room she's not, other than the kitchen, it's the only room she's not allowed in.
Yeah.
Which is like, the only reason she's not allowed in the kitchen is so she doesn't get fur all over me bloody
Food.
kitchen beds.
June says, eBay seems to be your friend for Harley bike kits. Looks, on the other hand, not at those prices, £200. No.
What?
Ian says, I once did a Harley Davidson, bought from the Metro Centre BTs. Think it was an IMAI. Joe says, really, Julian? Discontinued? I was going to look for my old 2005 Fat Boy. Ooh. Sonic says, how the hell can they justify those stupid prices? Because demand, that's how capitalism works.
Yeah.
The rarer something is, and the more demand there is, the more expensive it is. Dieter says, well, time to get back to my daily tasks. Enjoy the stream. See you on Thursday. All right, Diet. Sonic says, BTs, that's going back a few years. Damn, I missed those shops. They were brilliant for model railway stuff and also pretty cheap. Sonic says, cheese Dieter.
Ooh.
Ian says, put a pic on Discord of the Harley. And Joe says, those are crazy prices. Yeah. What's the matter?
I've just found a 1/9 scale World War II US Army Harley Davidson from Italy on scale model shop, 45 quid.
When I was in, we had Harley Davidson motocross bikes in our company, so that the runners could ride, had motorbikes to ride, because just before they got rid of that, or just after they got rid of them to replace them with quad bikes. So we used to wind one of the corporals up because he was put as messenger, and he'd leave his motorbike unattended with the keys in and stuff outside the office. So as we were walking past, we used to switch the fuel valve over to the reserve tank. So he would run out of petrol and then go to put it on the reserve tank and realise he'd actually gone through both tanks. So then he'd have to call the recovery guys out. He soon learned not to leave his keys in the bike.
Yeah.
June's put the War Hamster instead of Warhammer. That's what comes. Finally, that's what comes up when you Google War Hamster. Sonic says Orion is defo not allowed in my kitchen with the amount of fur he leaves everywhere. 2 minutes of his company and you end up looking furrier than him.
Yes, you do.
David said,
he absolutely loves me.
Yeah. David said, once built the Harley Electro Glide with sidecar back in Germany. Hate to think what price they want for it on eBay. Yeah. Ian says, Tiff, that's risky, buying it Larry. Probably Reebok's junk. Check Scalemates first. Yeah. Joe says, might as well buy a used bike or a real one. Yeah. June says, good grief, there's actually a game called War Hamster. Head on desk.
That does not surprise me.
No. And we've dropped down to 12 viewers. Oh no, what have we done wrong?
I don't know, we've only got 5 minutes left as well.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Hate the parts unless otherwise noted. Oh, wait a minute, I just realised.
What?
Where they've done the measurements, it's not to scale. I don't think. Oh no, that one is. Phew. Oh yeah, it is. That's all right. Should have checked that first. That was a really stupid mistake to make. Sonic says, Warhamster, laugh out loud. Do they have German gerbils? Asking for a friend. Probably. Joe says, no, Mikey, great chat today. Enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Cheers, Joe. Really appreciate that, mate.
Yeah.
And Sonic says, cheers, Joe. There we go. Yeah. 4 minutes left. And I think, other than spark plugs, that's the engine done. Certainly looks like it. Because next stage is putting it into the frame. But like I said, I'm going to paint the engine first. paint the frame before I put them together.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
I think so. Scale model in twins says bye all. Goodbye, John.
Bye, John.
Junior says bye, John. And Sonic says Nahoj Sarish. Cheers, John, backwards. There we go. Ian says, I've gone from airbrushing in the garage to rummaging in the attic. David says, bye, John. And Kaylee's come in and she's drinking a milkshake.
Ooh.
And now she's giggling to herself. Because she's got milkshake around her mouth.
Why have you got a cobweb on your light?
Huh? I don't know. Spiders do spider things. David says, this session has flown by. Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Misty wasn't right, was she?
Sonic says, all the best, David. Yeah, Kay was doing Mystic Meg, and she predicted that we'd have 23 people watching and 19 likes, but we haven't had anywhere near that.
No.
Do you want me to show them the picture?
If you want.
Okay, I took a picture of Kay doing Mystic Meg before, right? Are you ready for this? It's funny. That's one of those space projectors. And she had a shower on because she was going to paint the bathroom.
Love it.
She's brilliant.
Someone has to be.
So, and we've got a couple more comments. Sonic says, all the best, David. Paul says, bye, John. Julia says, that's more like it. South of 100. £75 for an electric glide kit, 112 scale. Still dear. David says, thanks, Sonic. And he says, wow, Julian, expensive. Oh, dear me. Right. What have you managed to achieve, Modders?
Well, I've got the main frame done.
Nice.
I just need to add the foot pedal to the other side, and then it's time to do the rear fender.
Nice. Shouldn't be too long to build this. There's a lot of parts to it, but it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah. What about you, Mikey?
Me, I have put the engine block together. There you go. And it's got
cool.
on there. It's got the 4 spark plug points to plug the spark plugs into. But I need to spray it first. It's even got a little Kawasaki badge on the chrome on the side of the oil pan.
Yeah, the fuel tank on mine has the Yamaha logo on, and then there's like a little bit that has Virago written on it.
Yeah, a lovely little model. It's going to be decent size as well. It's going to be about that big, isn't it?
Mine's not going to be that big. But it's only a little bite.
Let's have a look. Sonic says, about as accurate as septic sister sturgeon. Oops, politics.
Someone had to, didn't
they? So, hope you've enjoyed the new build today. Oh, left my glue open. Hope you enjoyed the new build. Something a little bit different to what we normally do. I'm enjoying it. It's good fun.
Me too.
Yeah. Junior says, cheapest is £52 from a pre-owned lowrider kit. Pre-owned equals hopefully complete. Yeah. Ian says, cheers, guys. The bike kits are a lovely surprise. I must dig out some of mine. Yeah, I'd happily do them again. They are really nice.
I know. I'm now going to have a look, see what I can find.
On Thursday, Mr. Morris is away doing stuff. So it'll just be me and Mr. Marley and Modders if she wants to come on. Sonic says, psychic my ass. I couldn't predict a birthday in the next 12 months. If I recall correctly, Brian Conley did Septic Peg as a character. Yep, he did. David says, see you Thursday. Love this. Got to take the missus for a coffee now. Good man. Right. Shall see you all Thursday. Behave yourselves and have fun. See you all on Thursday, guys. Bye.
Bye.